Hello there to my fellow YouTube fans, young and old alike. This is Kane Fan 701, and what a May 24th it has been for me, and for a lot of us WWE wrestling fans as well, because news broke out just today, and probably the most historic breakout we've had in quite a long while. WWE legend Kane, my number one hero of all time that I grew up idolizing, apparently is going to be now officially part of the 2021 WWE Hall of Fame. This announcement was broken earlier today by none other than The Undertaker himself when he told Kane live on the bump, oh my god, it was amazing. A truly historic moment for everything at this point. Kane has been my number one fan. My number one wrestling, ever since I grew up. Besides Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan and Undertaker, Randy Savage, Bret Hart, Ric Flair, and all that other kind of stuff, way back in the Hulk Hogan day. But I gotta tell you, man, Kane has always been something really special. He was the WWE character that I idolized and kind of saw myself as. I think a lot of us kind of related to the character, and I think we took it for granted for quite a lot. But for 23 years, Glenn Jacobs as the character has been unleashing hellfire and brimstone left, right, and center, and finally, he has achieved the ultimate goal of any wrestler, of any legend in the business, and he's finally achieved a Hall of Fame status, and now he's going to be in with all those that came before him, with the likes of Andre the Giant, Ultimate Warrior, Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, Rowdy Piper, Dusty Rhodes, and guys like Kevin Nash, Razor Ramon, all these big names that Kane had been with round, and of course, who can forget the late great Paul Bearer? Oh yes, my Undertaker, my Kane. Sorry, that was my bad impression of Paul Bearer there, but he too was in the Hall of Fame. Of course, you got Jacob the Snake Roberts, Superfly Jimmy Snuka, and Kurt Angle, all these past Hall of Famers that were there. Now Kane's going to take his rightful place among them. Who deserves a Hall of Fame entry dedication than Glenn Jacobs, man? After everything he's done in the business, for 23 long years, and finally, he's going to be in it. It's really been very emotional for a lot of us Kane fans, myself included. Undertaker gave the announcement that he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, and Kane took it so emotionally. He was holding back tears of emotion, and he asked if Taker was actually being serious, and Mark Calloway confirmed that he was being real serious, and he was, telling it it's official, and it was just blessing. If anybody could induct Kane into the Hall of Fame, it has to be the Undertaker, because another possibility at the time would have been Paul Bearer had he lived, because Paul Bearer died in 2013, and I think he would have inducted Kane into the Hall of Fame had he lived. And I'm just telling you, man, it's just amazing. This came out of nowhere, and it took the internet by storm. This is like an amazing moment for every Canaanite, for those who have been around and watched Kane ever since he debuted on October 5th, 1997 at Bad Blood. And it was funny because I was 6 years old at the time when Kane made his debut, and I was just immediately just drawn to his character, the original gimmick, the original red and black mask that covered his supposedly burnt face, and his ring attire was just incredibly well done. It was like a real life monster on the loose back then. Way back in the day during the Attitude Era, which was arguably the greatest era of its time. You couldn't have fallen in love with wrestling back then like you do. There's been so many great eras. We've had the Hulk Hogan era from the 80s, and then you had like this new generation of new wrestlers coming in, which were Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall, And all the other young guys that were coming in, which were from the new generation era, which I have to admit I didn't see too much of because, I was still watching the Hulk Hogan era back then still, so I was trying to catch up at that point during my early childhood years. But when the Attitude Era dawned, that's when it got me really into it. I actually took wrestling seriously, and that it was not fake. I still take wrestling as serious today as ever. I'm probably one of the last kayfabe fans who basically don't think it's fake. I mean, we all know that wrestling's there for entertainment, and I get that clearly. But really, in the business, wrestling is the thing as it is, and people can get injured. Injuries do occur, and there are some people out there that will think, oh, it's just all fake, and it can get a lot of people red hot, and heat up pretty badly. but oof. But besides that, though, when Kane debuted, in 1997, he was unlike any other gimmick that I think WWE had created ever since The Undertaker debuted at Survivor Series in 1990. He was completely fresh, so different. He was almost like on the same level as Taker, if not as bigger. But you gotta admit, though, I mean, the creativity of The Undertaker and Kane and making them look like brothers was one of the best things WWE did ever in creativity. And for the storyline to go this long and all the way it went through, through the changes from the Attitude Era to the Ruthless Aggression Era into the unfortunate PG era and to what wrestling is now. I mean, it's amazing how long it lasted. Even though The Undertaker retired, he did say on a exclusive interview with Kane, saying, who's to say it ain't over, but maybe kayfabe, it may not be over. But then again, I think this is a great ending to one of the greatest rivalries that WWE ever did at the time. The best, in my personal opinion, the best storyline that they ever did. I mean, heck, it's something that even Hollywood itself could not even dare replicating. But I would dare say it would even be amazing if they could try and pull something off like that. But besides this, though, it's been an amazing day. I'm just so happy and so thrilled to let you guys know is that Kane is now going to take his rightful place in the WWE Hall of Fame of 2021. And I think a lot of us have waited for this for so long, but I wasn't too sure when he was going to have it done, because Kane looked healthy enough and he could still go, because he's a very healthy, well looked after individual. Despite how big and tall he is, he's even though he's now in his 50s, I think even he might be nearing his time, and he could perhaps hang the mask up and join Undertaker in retirement, which would be a sad day when that happens. But right now, it's a day of celebrating. I'm so thrilled, and everybody else on Twitter, Facebook, even on YouTube as we talk right now, is literally just exploded like a raging inferno. And I have to say, it's just a great time for every Canaanite out there. I wasn't too sure Kane himself was expecting it. I mean, if you see the video, his reaction says it all. Even Undertaker was holding back a bit of tears, because he was gonna, but he was trying not to choke up a bit, but it was just amazing. It's like getting you. It's like when you get your own. How should I? What's the word I'm looking for? How should I put this into perspective? Like, in comparing it, it's almost like getting your unexpected Christmas present or your unexpected birthday present that you were going to have, but you just didn't know that was going to be on the list, and there it was. And this is brilliant. So I'm not so sure what will happen next afterwards, but I'm so looking forward to what this year's Hall of Fame is going to bring to us, which will happen on the day or so before WrestleMania. And who knows, maybe in 2022, maybe The Undertaker will take his rightful place in the Hall of Fame, or, I'm not so sure if that will occur, though, but I've got a suspicion that maybe that could be the case, because after all, if Kane's going to go into the Hall of Fame, which is official now, then it's only fitting for The Undertaker to take his rightful place in there, to be among all the legends in the WWE too, because, he's outlasted everybody in from the hours that he was involved in his 30-year career. And now I assume that this would be the best time for him to do it too. But again, I'm just so thrilled that Kane has taken, he's going to take his place now, and I'm so thrilled and happy to the point where I actually had emotional tears coming in on my eyes, man. I'm just so thrilled for the Big Red Machine. I'd like to take this time now to, give a big thank you to Glenn Jacobs, aka Kane. Thank you for what you've done for 23 years in the business, for releasing hellfire and brimstone, choke slamming and tombstoning everyone that came your way. And now here you are. You've made it to the ultimate goal, and now you will take your place as the Big Red Hall of Famer, as one guy pointed out. Congratulations, Kane. Congratulations. That wraps it up for this little stream announcement for you guys. If any of you guys who are big fans of WWE and a big fan of Kane, hit that like button or drop down in the comment boxes below and give me your thoughts and your opinions about this. I mean, this is just an amazing historical moment. And as for me, I'm just so emotionally happy right now. I really, really am. Well, this is it for tonight. This is Kane Fan 701. Once again, a big congratulations to Kane for now being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame of 2021. Take care, everybody. Peace.